Welcome back to Blade Guide. Forget lightweight camping knives built just to open food packages. Today we're talking about the biggest, most overbuilt survival blades money can buy in 2026. These are the knives built to clear trails, split wood, build shelters, and keep working long after ordinary blades would have given up. Some are legendary among hardcore outdoorsmen, some are modern engineering showcases, and a couple are just plain absurd in the best way. And every single one is something you can actually go out and buy. Let's count down the 10 most overpowered survival knives of 2026. And at number 10, the Buck 124 Frontiersman feels like it came from an era when outdoor tools were built to solve real problems, not look good in an ad. The moment it comes out of the sheath, you understand why it stayed respected for so long. A long, commanding blade with enough presence to make smaller survival knives feel almost tiny. What really makes it interesting is that despite the size, it stays genuinely practical. Many oversized blades get awkward once real work starts, but the Frontiersman thrives. Whether it's processing firewood, clearing vegetation, or handling general camp chores, it keeps a surprising balance between raw power and real control. It's a knife people develop genuine trust in over time, and that trust is exactly why it still holds its place today. And at number 9, the Condor Undertaker Bowie doesn't ask for attention, it demands it. First impressions make it look almost excessive, like someone took a classic Bowie knife and turned every dimension up. But the moment it starts working, the purpose becomes obvious. This is a knife built for dense undergrowth and serious trail clearing, powering through tasks that would take a smaller blade far more effort. What really sets it apart from other oversized knives is usability. Despite the intimidating size, the balance feels intentional and the grip encourages real control. Condor built this to be used, not displayed, and every scratch it picks up just adds to that reputation. And at number 8, the cold steel Marauder doesn't ease its way into your gear collection. It arrives like a wrecking ball. There's zero confusion about its purpose the moment you see it. This is a knife built for hard use and brutal conditions where smaller blades simply aren't enough. And unlike a lot of oversized knives that look impressive but struggle once real work starts, the Marauder actually thrives under load. Picture clearing fallen branches after a storm or processing soaked firewood. The long blade generates serious cutting power, making chopping and clearing feel far more efficient than it has any right to. The robust construction and secure handle back up every bit of that aggressive first impression. And at number 7, the Tops Tom Brown Tracker completely ignores the traditional survival knife rulebook and builds its own category. The blade shape looks almost futuristic at first glance, but that unconventional design is exactly why it's developed such a legendary reputation. Every section of the blade serves a different purpose. The forward section delivers serious chopping power, the curved edge handles slicing and skinning, and the narrower portion gives you real precision control. It's less a single-purpose knife and more a wilderness multi-tool packed into one blade, which is why it keeps attracting attention decades after it was first introduced. Add in genuine hard-use toughness and a comfortable, secure handle, and you've got a knife built for when equipment failure simply isn't an option. And at number 6, the Tops L.S.H exists somewhere between a survival knife and a machete, and it completely ignores the limitations of both. The blade is enormous, and the first reaction most people have is disbelief. But spend real time with it outdoors, and that disbelief turns into respect fast. Every inch of this blade earns its keep. When you need to gather shelter materials in heavily wooded terrain, this knife changes the entire equation, processing branches and clearing vegetation with a level of efficiency smaller knives just can't match. Despite the intimidating size, Tops clearly understood ergonomics matter here. The grip stays secure and comfortable even as the workload increases, which is exactly why this one has developed such a devoted following. And at number 5, we hit a turning point. The Spartan blade's Harsey Difensa and MagnaCut steel combines overbuilt survival capability with a level of refinement most knives in this category simply don't have. Designed by legendary knife maker William Harsey, every line and contour here feels deliberate rather than exaggerated. Despite that refined look, the toughness becomes obvious the second real work begins. Gathering shelter materials, processing firewood, moving through harsh terrain, all handled with confidence and control. MagnaCut steel is a huge part of the appeal, delivering outstanding edge retention, exceptional corrosion resistance, and genuine toughness all in one package. The handle stays secure and natural whether your hands are wet, cold, or fatigued, and the overall craftsmanship reflects a knife built to last a lifetime. And at number 4, the Cold Steel Trail Master has earned a level of admiration among survivalists that borders on legendary, and in its CPM 3V configuration, it's become an outright benchmark for hard-use blades. The moment you hold it, the authority is obvious, powerful without feeling crude, long and aggressive, but still genuinely responsive rather than relying on brute force alone. Deep in remote terrain, where firewood processing and trail clearing feel endless with a smaller knife, the Trail Master feels liberating instead. Chopping, splitting, and heavier cutting tasks all become far more manageable. CPM 3V steel is the real differentiator here, famous for surviving abuse that would damage lesser blades. And that toughness is exactly why users stop wondering if the knife can handle a task and start assuming it can. And at number 3, the ESEE Junglas 2 feels like it was built specifically for people who expect to push their gear past normal limits. Nothing here feels accidental. The blade shape, dimensions, and handle all communicate one message. This knife was built to work. It genuinely excels in situations that demand versatility, moving from wood processing to clearing vegetation to cordage cutting throughout a single day without missing a beat. ESEE's reputation for durability is well earned, and the Junglas 2 reflects that philosophy completely: robust, dependable, and ready. What's most impressive is the balance it strikes. Large survival knives often force a trade-off between power and control, but this one delivers both, staying comfortable and predictable even through extended, demanding use. And at number 2, once you're talking about the Miller Brothers Blades M8, ordinary survival knives aren't part of the conversation anymore. This is a knife built for people who expect extreme performance, full stop. The size and aggressive profile create an immediate reaction of disbelief, but spend time examining it, and you realize every inch serves a purpose. This isn't oversized for attention, it's oversized because it was engineered to attack difficult environments rather than just work through them. Picture a forest full of storm debris and fallen branches. A smaller knife eventually solves that problem, but the M8 attacks it outright. Miller Brothers built this with the expectation that owners will push it hard, and the knife seems genuinely eager for that challenge, delivering the kind of confidence that shifts your mindset from, "Can this knife handle it?" to "What can it handle?" And at number 1, the Busse Team Gemini Ultra Heavy Brigade takes the top spot as the most overpowered survival knife of 2026, and honestly, it makes everything else on this list look reasonable by comparison. This isn't just a large fixed blade. It feels like the final evolution of the entire survival knife concept. The blade is massive, the construction is intimidating, and the overall presence demands respect the second you pick it up. But what really sets it apart is that it somehow justifies every bit of that excess. Busse built this around one core idea: eliminate weakness entirely. Splitting firewood, harvesting shelter materials, clearing trails, solving emergency problems on the fly. The Team Gemini approaches all of it with a level of authority almost nothing else on this list can match. Busse's reputation for near indestructible durability is legendary among enthusiasts, and this knife might be the clearest example of that philosophy yet. Genuinely rugged, genuinely versatile, and never once feeling overwhelmed by the task in front of it. That combination of raw toughness and real capability is exactly why it earns the number 1 spot. And that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 most overpowered survival knives of 2026. From the classic, dependable Buck 124 Frontiersman at number 10 to the absolutely unhinged Busse Team Gemini Ultra Heavy Brigade at number 1. These blades prove that some knives just refuse to compromise. Which one would you actually want in your pack? Let us know in the comments below. And if this list blew your mind a little, hit like, subscribe, and stick around here at Blade Guide for more knife breakdowns and gear countdowns.